just like that. Do I come out here? Hello? Hello? I'm so excited. Why am I so excited? Because I can just be myself. Look, number 1. Oh, minus. Oh, plus. Multiply. Divide. See the 2 dots? The division gives me height. I'm so excited. How about this? Take a good look. It's a single dot. It's number 1. Oh, it's I. It's 10. Showing you the dot. Showing you the 1. Now you know what 10 is. Is it on this side or that side? Is it the dot, that this is the center to everything that's around? Should I use the word perception? If I had the elegant way of speaking and was instantaneously capable of choosing the exact word that would have the exact definition, that would create specifically the definition for that which everybody will understand, or would you? How many people understand what the word eloquent is? Eloquent. And now I'm going to ask everybody if they want to feel good. Do you want to feel good? Look. Look. This way, I can do this. But if I put the 9, it has to be this. Now the question comes in. Did I open up the paper? Did I open up the paper? What would it mean if I was opening up the paper? Now, I've been here, what is it? April 2010, is that when I started this? April 2010. It's in a few months, it'll be April 2019. 9 years. How many have actually seen my transition from day 1 in my videos to almost 9 years later? Look, I have an onion. I have a cauliflower. I have another onion. Let me take off a little light. And I have a broccoli. Now, these broccolis are frozen. Were they frozen pre-semi-cooked or fully cooked? What will happen to this broccoli if it was fully cooked and frozen? Would I be eating it when it defrosted? And if I did or didn't, and if I just threw it into some boiling water, should my water be boiling before I put my broccoli in? Frozen. But what if it was fresh broccoli? Will it come out smooth, soft? How come I have that seems like this video, my camera just shows everything on my face. And how did I cut this onion? Should I have cut the onion this way? And if I cut it this way, what can I do? And what can't I do to this poor onion? Well, the onion doesn't have money. In fact, this poor onion is actually rich in minerals and vitamin. Some poor onion is rich in minerals. My esophagus, if it's not cleansed, then my adrenaline gland will never receive the vitamins. If my adrenaline gland does not receive the vitamins, if my esophagus is not clean or proper, if the pH inside of me is not to the I don't know the word, but if it's not right, it will not service. I need some service. So in order to service this shell, I need to give the shell what it needs. Apparently, nice to breathe, but vipassana. Should I be breathing from the bottom of my gut? What is the best way to breathe? Which way should I be breathing? Thank God I'm breathing. There was once a time in my life in which I noticed I was caught underneath the water. In a bathtub under the water. When I had woken, I was completely submerged in the water and I was asleep. How is that possible? Can you even believe that story? I'm having a hard time to believe that story. I once fell asleep in a swimming pool, and God, I would love my sister to come back and tell this story. I fell asleep in the swimming pool, lying on my back. When I woke up, my sister said, "How did you do that?" I was lying on my side. Well, basically like this in the pool. I have no idea. When I had my heart attack, the scariest thing about in my whole life, oh my God, if I ever have a heart attack, can I breathe? But before I ever had that heart attack, I had anxiety attacks, and I've had asthma attacks. I've had pneumonia, and I couldn't breathe. Worthless. Into the hospital with the mask, and the air they gave me to breathe was insane. When we don't know something, and then when we do know something, what a difference that makes up here. I can break my arm, and I can work and break my head. But it's the words, because I never did break my head. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. What wall did he sit on? Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Which way did he fall? He fell obviously down to the ground, and all the king's horses, how in the world is a horse, and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty Dumpty together again. All the king's horses and all the king's men. How in the world is a horse? What does it mean by the horse? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch. Fetch. Were they dogs? Was Jack and Jill a dog? Fetch dog, to fetch the water. Jack and Jill went up the hill to get a pail of water. To fetch a pail of water or to get a pail of water? If they were fetching, at least they weren't fetching, and they were going up the hill to get, was it a bottle of water or a pail of water? Pail. The pale horse. So was it white water? Was it white water? Were they going to the white waters to get up the hill to get a bucket of water? A bucket. The rabbit kicked the bucket. The rabbit kicked the bucket. How, where, what can I do with every word we play? But I'm not playing. Am I making fun, or just give me a second. I'm going to put this on hold. I have something on the oven, but I don't know if I started the water to boil. Wait, hold on a second. I can't start the water to boil. I can turn the oven on, get it excited, get it hot. Yes, in my last video, it was the grand illusion. Grand, how grand it is. But if we're talking money, I'll take a grand. I'll take a grand. In fact, a grander. Grandeur. Have I ever done videos like this before? I think I have, right? Ranting on and on and on. Am I going to be judged on these videos? Why am I doing these videos? So let's get back to these vegetables. Now, do you know if I froze this vegetable, it will not cook the same. It will not be the same vegetable. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. I hope she landed up on Jack. Get off. You know, get off. You know what I'm saying? I broke my crown. Does it mean he broke his head? Don't know. Where was I starting with this video? So I was always going to talk about this onion. If I slice it this way, and if I slice it this way, what will I do to the onion after? Is it easier to slice the onion at the end, take off the peel? How is the best way to slice and dice an onion? So everything in life is all about slicing and dicing. You know what happened today? And I was amazed. I was just amazed. I was amazed at what happened today. I was just amazed. A friend of mine said to me, she says, "You won't believe it." I go, "What?" I was on the computer, and like out of nowhere, all of a sudden there were all kinds of advertising for vitamin C. She says the computer must be amazing. And then this happened and this happened. It's like my fate, my fate. You know, it must be my fate. I mean, it must be because of the way I think. Everything is coming to me on the internet. Yes, of course. When you do something on the internet, the media outlet will replicate everything you're looking for and send you back the information pertinent to what your searches were like prior to that moment. Media. Media. How does media work? How does media work? They seed the population. What is going to happen in 3 years? I know some things that will happen in 3 years. I am 100% sure. I am 100% sure at one point in time, within the next 2 years, that the stock market will go up. And I am 100% that sometime in the future, on any given day, the stock market will go down. Now, if you find on that day the stock market went up, and you find me, I was right. If you find on that day that the stock market went down, and you found me saying it's going down, I'm right again. It's when you find the information and how pertinent in the information. It's how the information and what you say about it now, whether it has any meaning in the future, based on what came from the past to what has arrived at today, to what is going on to be in the future. In 1984, Orson Welles wrote. In the, what year was it? Nostradamus wrote. In the Bible codes, they come up with codes for what they wrote, to what you can find, to how you see it pertinent today, to how if you found something pertinent to today, to make it relevant, you can say, well, tomorrow's outlook is this, depending on how you sell to me what was today and what you see and how you read the past to what it was. You make it to be what you believe it is, or you believe somebody else if somebody else pinpoints and takes out this information to share with you. A friend of mine had a tire that was running low. Once and twice and 3 times. I says, go back to the garage and tell them they sold you a faulty tire. What answer did I get back in return? That's all you want me to do. Go back to the garage. What am I going to go back to the garage for? What are they going to do? I didn't answer. I didn't answer. Well, tell me what they're going to do. I said, let's go put air in the tire. He said, it's low on air. So let's go put air in the tire. She says, what should I said, your tire's out. I says, is this the first time it's flat? She says, no, it keeps running out of air. I said, let's go buy a new tire. I just bought the tire. I said, well, let's go back to the garage. Why do I have to go back to the garage? So now you see this happened within less than 5 minutes. So I screamed, I go, whoa, got angry, really angry inside. I said, you just threw out 2 tires. I bought you 2 good tires. When you got to the garage, the gentleman at the garage says, these tires aren't the same. When I bought the tire, when I got the tires, or when I referred her to these tires, okay, I'm not sure which words you're going to switch on me now, but when I referred her to a place, we can go see 2 tires. We took the 4 tires on her car plus the 2 tires she bought. She had 6 tires. I matched up 2 tires where the treading was just about alike, in which the same treading this person has been running on for the last couple of years. Okay, very similar. And the most important part is that the usage of the tires is the same thing. Otherwise, your car is going to run a little bit off. You want the usage of the tires the same, right? And I not have determined, but I have measured the tire to see whether or not there was enough and equal treading on both tires to be able to use almost identical treading to the same height in the tires, and found out and showed to this person, look, this is perfect. What about these tires? I said, well, these 2 tires you can throw out. The other tires that were in the front, you can put into the back, but these 2 in the front, although they're used, that's what you wanted, used tires. This is what you want to spend. This is the situation we are in. This is where we end up now. Do I look like a crazy man using my hands? So I won't use my hands anymore. So she said, okay. She gets to the garage. And the man in the garage says, how can you use these tires? All of a sudden, what she had decided on her own, what I had completely explained to her, and what I told her what the difference of why we shouldn't and why most people do not run on different tires because of certain differences. It was already agreed between us. But because the salesman in the garage says, look, I got 4 identical tires. Although they're used, they're good for 3 years. I looked at the tires. They're good for a full 2 years. Okay? When you have a tire that's 50% used, all you have is 25% of its life left. If you have 2 inches in a tire and you use 1 of those inches, your tire is almost finished because you don't use it up until it's down on the flat. That's not how tires work. When you go for coffee and tea, there is a rim. Do you see the rim? You want to put it below the rim so you can put the cover on. If you squish it, it's going to raise above because you've taken away space. Look, it's the same time. Isn't it funny? We have one container here that's marked 750 milliliters. Now, how is it possible that the same, I still squeeze it, shouldn't it still be 750 milliliters? But when you squeeze it, it comes out the top. I'm scratching my head, but it's 750. I didn't take away from the size. I am squishing it, but it's still the same size. How in the world does it come out of the top? Ask yourself that question. Did it go away somewhere? Same container, same circle, just different shape. And all of a sudden, if I completely push this container together, I now have no space for anything. How is it possible? Because the size of this container still says 750 and I haven't changed it. And I can fill it up with water and prove it, but I'm quite sure you have a container like this at home. You know what I want to do on New Year's? I want to go down to the farm. You know that video on the pigs I once did? I want to go down to the farm and sit with the pigs and do a video with the pigs and talk to them and hear them oink, 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 oink. And you feel that vibration come off of them. Have you ever thought, I mean, I know I'm a little bit scattered with the video because personal information shared. I am content to be here, to talk to myself and be what is the public calls transparent. I don't put a wording on it because it's pretty hard on the mind to have to think of every single word you say. And then when your words come back at you on what you've said, people think you've said something else. So I'd sit and ponder, should I answer like I used to answer all the time on Facebook? And now I don't even want to participate. I'll listen, I'll make an odd post, but I don't want to participate. If everything that I say is going to be questioned for a more specific roadway for answers, I don't have all the answers. I can make some remarks, some statements, some suggestions, but I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the information, and I don't always understand what other people say. I can assume what I understood in what other people say, okay? Back to the onion. Look, I have something to write. I have something to write. I have something different to write. But who's right and who's wrong? Take it away. Add it up. Multiply it. Maybe divide it. Look what just happened with my division. I like to call this 5. When you know the 2 dots? Where are those 2 dots? When you write 2 dots for division on a paper, when you use a calculator and you press the plus button, it adds up this one with this one and it gives you one answer. Imagine. All I did is push the plus button and it associated these 2 and it put it into one. In fact, I had 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, put it together, all it gave me was 3, 3, 3. Do you know a pig's pregnancy is 3, 3, 3? Do you know 7 times 3 is 21? Do you know that it takes 21 days for the egg to hatch in the chicken? Do you know that a chicken lays a chicken will lay an egg for consumption or for maybe the babies? I don't know, but since I said consumption, I might be wrong and it could be for babies. Now I made a mistake. What did I actually mean? So the chicken lays the egg. Lays the egg on day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, no egg. Dad, something's wrong with the chicken. Didn't lay an egg on day 7. Weeks go by, a month goes by. Dad, I think there's a cycle. Seems like every 7th day, the chicken's on holidays. I don't see an egg on every 7th day. So now we have an equation and an occasion. To take a day off, there's no collecting the eggs. But wait, what about cleaning the manure? Because somehow, even though the chicken doesn't lay the egg on the 7th day, it still poops. Even though the chicken didn't lay the egg on the 7th day, it still ate, and it still drank, and it was still breathing. So the 7th day was only to refer that there was no egg. So I shall rest on the 7th day. But there is no rest, because the chicken still has life, and it still needs nurturing. Unless it's a free-roaming chicken, then it's out in the field eating on its own. But then because it's the chickens on my ranch, I want to make sure that the chickens are well fed, and there's no fighting amongst the chicks, I have to go out and search. And just in case these eggs were fertile, and baby chicks can be hatched, how many chickens do I have? What is the 7th day for each chicken? And are there chickens laying eggs today? And some chickens are not laying eggs today. Therefore, I now have to work 7 days a week. And if there's a chick that is born, I have to do something about it to make sure that chick gets the nurture and the proper, what it needs to be safe, as a safe chick. You want all chicks safe, right? The pig's pregnancy, 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days. But Dad, one of the pigs has passed away. Well, son, I told you, if we don't move the mother pig into a certain position, she might sit on her pig and squish her pig. Elephants don't clean floors. Are elephants like vacuum cleaners? Do elephants wash dishes? No, I don't think so. But Dad, Fred Flintstone, Barney Rubble, Wilma, and Betty, they're using their elephant in the sink to wash the dishes. In the shower, I have my elephant. My vacuum cleaner is an elephant. Or was it an elephant? Do you know that enfant in French means child, but foncé means to break in? Just let me put the vegetables inside the boiling water. So I'm boiling the water, and it's just not any water. I'm boiling the water, and I had put in a little bit of salt. I put in some cinnamon and a few spices in the water. So while the vegetables are boiling, they're taking in these different elements. I got to go put in the rest of my onion. And then when I'm finished boiling the vegetables, or semi-boiling the vegetables, I'm then going to add them to the meat. And then I'm going to take the juice that was from the vegetables, and then I'm going to put rice in it, and then I'm going to make my rice so I can save all the vitamins that was in the water. I'm learning slowly, and if anybody wants to teach me, in fact, if there were 50 people here, I can learn from every single one of them. At least I can be either taught if I have enough time in my mind, or I don't want to know. You're the cook. Cook. If there's something I don't like and you ask me what I think, if I have a different kind of taste, or ask if you can do this, we can throw things back and forth from someone who doesn't know to a professional, and the professional can say, oh my God, why didn't I think of that? Because everybody thinks outside the box in a different way. Everybody drives their car in a different way, and everybody has reason for making different moves on the highway. It could be a personal part of their altered life or altered ways, right or wrong. I don't want to talk about it. Went out driving today with somebody, and there was a move that was crazy that I thought she had done. It was crazy for me, but then I didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden I said, oh my God, what a great move. But I had all this time, my mind was thinking, right and wrong. I never said a word, and I just smiled after. I said, wow. She said, what? I said, that was a fantastic move. Instead of saying the negative of what I saw before the move happened, I said the positive after it happened. Now, if it only ended up in the negative, last time I went out and something happened in the negative and the person said something back to me, I would say, you know, sometimes things happen like that, and there's many ways to come about it. Sometimes how we react affects others, and they can use it against us, and which is not fun. And in fact, here's something that excites me. Look at that. The pens touch, but they're on opposite sides. How can we link them together? Things like this I like to think about because it makes me think about this planet, right? Now, I know we're into this 25-minute video, and everybody knows that my belief about this planet is way deeper. I believe that, and just a belief. Could be right, could be wrong. I definitely would like to be right. Would be nice. I'm only going to know, like I was talking about my heart attack, right? And it was at that time, I thought when I have a heart attack, I thought I wouldn't be able to breathe. But my lungs were fine. I was breathing just fine, sort of, just whatever it was. And when I was going over to the in the ambulance going into Montreal, to get operated on, all of a sudden, I didn't feel any pain. I felt like I was in peace. I felt like I was in the right place as they were pushing me down in the gurney over to the operating room. Sort of like I left my body. And I saw corridors opening up. And when I closed my eyes, I was able to see this huge light. Sort of like windows on the side, this beautiful light in front. And then I got a little scared and opened my eyes. My first thought was, oh my God, they're going to repaint my apartment. Was the first thing I thought. And they wheeled me into the room. And anyways, that was just crazy, man. Crazy, crazy. I want to thank you for spending time with me. I'm not sure. We're running about 7,200 videos since the inception. We are coming into, in May, it'll be the 14th year that I have been writing, documenting into, you see, these are just, doesn't it look like one is on top of the other, right? I've been documenting different designs that I draw up, and there's a different reason for every single design. You see the way I put Y inside what it looks like a hexagon? This looks like it's in the back, right? Depending on how you draw things up. And I just want to, I'm not sure if you can see that. Look what's here. In this word, here's the Z, here's the N, here's the H, and here's the I. But now I'd have to mirror this in order for this to have the I, because once I mirror it, I'll have this side and that side, and then I can put my line to show what's in between in height. Or what's in between, if I double it, in between, I'll have to put the line here and the line here in division. And once I add a line here and a line here, I now have the two angles that come up here, and the reflection of the two angles. E and E. How about drawing one S to equal to E and E? So instead of having the fifth letter and the fifth letter equaling to 10, or the reverse 22nd and 22nd equaling to 44. Instead of having the dot which comes out of the I saying E-I-E-I-O, or how about the 8 that signifies in between? How about the 6 and the 9 that is relevant that you can see? How about plugging in something to the wall in C and E? Or where V comes about? Or how about the passage or a river? What is below? What is between the two sides? And the flow of that river. Musical notes, perhaps, connected together. The piano notes. Everything, every vibration, every design. I was speaking to my son today, and he said, Dad, look at this and this. I says, yeah. And then I did this to him. I says, what do you see? He tells me he sees, well, maybe it's a backwards C in a line. I said, if I take the line, I put it here, right? It's a P. But if I put the line up here, it becomes a B. If I turn this around to the other side with a line, it becomes a D. If I keep it on this side, flip this around to the other side, depending on what I do down here, it could be the tail of the Q or the G. 29 minutes. Time flies. Does time fly? Time flies. Earth might be moving in space. following to what we think is the sun, who will be the leader, the sun and the moon. Numbers and how numbers talk, and the video that was not finished yesterday, the video that was not finished yesterday, this 16 is actually going to be running of the sun. And there's nobody that can actually follow that unless I explain it. And I'm going to end it right here, what that is. Okay? 6 will every single number will always be looking as this. This counts for every number except for what you don't understand. Here's the 2. In between the 2, what's not there is the 1. 2 and 1 equals to your 3. We have the 4. What's missing here? The dot for the 5. We have the 6. The 2 dots missing here for the 6. There's no 7 dice. So we'd have the reverse of the 6 dice. We must add 2 here, and then 1 dot on the other side. If I have 2 dots on this side of the 6, and the other side of the dice has 1 dot in the center, we now have a triangle that has been created in the center of the cube. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Saturday night. And this has been inside my head all day, so I want to finish off the song by Styx. Welcome to the Grand Illusion. Come on in and see what's happening. Pay the price, get a tickets to the show. Da-doom, da-doom, da-doom. The stage is set, the band starts playing. Suddenly your heart is pounding, wishing secretly you were a star. Blah, blah, da, 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 da. But don't be fooled by the radio, the TV, or the magazines. They show you photographs of how your life should be, but there's just something else's fantasy. So if you think your life's a complete confusion because you never win the game, just remember that's a grand illusion, and deep inside we're all the same. We're all the same. So if you think your life's complete confusion because the neighbors got it made, just remember, welcome to the Grand Illusion. Come on in and see what's happening. Pay the price, get your tickets for the show. The stage is set, the band starts playing. Suddenly your heart is pumping. Welcome to the Grand Illusion. Thank you for watching. Raphael 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus.